Okay, Indy, if you are just gonna grr and girt, you can bugger off. Alright, let's get this set up so I can actually see it. Alright, I might need that extra chair. If anybody's tuning in, I'm just getting this set up before I start streaming completely. One more thing and then I should be good. I wish I would make another section for stuff. It's blogs. And I might as well add that since we're going to do this. WhatNot. Sorry, big boy, you gotta move. Alright, this way I can actually see if somebody else creeps in here. I get up from that spot and you take it over. I see how it is, dog. Okay, so I just figured I am going to do a live stream from now on to start showing my products for my WhatNot shows. You guys can find the link in the description, or you can find it in the pinned comment of the chat. Anyway, these are all my social media links. YouTube, obviously you're here. Instagram is my other big one. TikTok, yeah, I kind of use it. eBay, that's where I put my stuff that I get tired of trying to push over on WhatNot, because people want to be cheap. And obviously WhatNot, you can find the link in my description, or again, the chat link. It's pinned. So moving on. Blood of Dracula, issue 17. And obviously I'm going to try and show the conditions on some of these, at least in the front. There is spine ticks, and I believe this one, yeah, it has a couple color breaks. So if you're kind of fussy, that is going to be an issue right there, priority for you. Another Blood of Dracula, this is issue 8. And this one, I usually have to hold it up from the camera. Yeah, up in this spot right here, there's a couple spine ticks. And they do break color. Another one right there. This one, I haven't decided if I'm going to give it away to somebody or what, but it's really seen better days. I don't want to pull it out. I can show it on the live stream. Or if you want to know about it beforehand, feel free to reach out to me. Spooky Boo. This is an old 12-cent comic. Got another Blood of Dracula, number 6. And again, this has some color breaking. That's a... Or no, sorry, that was some corgi glitter. That's free of charge. Got a spine tick there. And... though that one actually doesn't break color, so that could press out. 1987, Timothy... something. Tremblay? Anyway, that's issue 6 of Blood of Dracula. And some more Blood of Dracula. Trying to make some more room here for me. Condition on this, I'm sure you can already see it from here. There are spine ticks. And I now at least 1, 2, 3 or 4 that break color. I do like this artwork, but I just have too many comics already in my collection. I'm trying to keep only what I want. Enter freely of your own will. Blah, give me your blood. So this is issue 3, Blood of Dracula. And once again, unfortunately, spine ticks. This is kind of how this collection is that I got. And let's see, color breaks. Yep. That one does unfortunately break color. This one I actually like the artwork for. Blood of Dracula, the Lady in the Tomb. And sadly, once again, spine ticks with color breaks. Oh, and that was issue... well, it was actually number 1, of course. Blood of Dracula, number 9. old school style art by Apple Comics. And this one, I believe, has spine ticks, but I don't think they break the color. Okay, so I don't know if it's just the artwork cover or what, but there is like one spot near one of these spine ticks where there is color missing slightly. I don't know if it's just a manufacturer thing or what. And then please bear with me, all my comics are not in order right now. And then Anne Rice's Queen of the Damned. I was going to keep these, but I decided I'm going to sell them. I'm not a huge fan of the trash that was out on AMC. I'm a old school fan of the books, and always will be. And this is by Innovation. I remember buying these years ago, and I sold them when they were still above peak range, when they were like around 60 or 100. This does break color. And there is a little bit of color breaking on the spine, I see. By the way, this is one of my favorite series, but they screwed it up in the old WB series. Stay. Actually, here's more Queen of the Damned. Here's the other part of Queen of the Damned. I think this one was a full set and interview. I think Lestat maybe was the one that wasn't a complete set. I'd have to double check. But I'm probably going to try to sell this as a complete set. This is missing a little color right there, or it is a manufacturer. Not sure. But I don't see any other major issues on it besides that. Oh, wait. Okay. It's just the light. And again, I'm not taking these out while I'm on stream just because, or while I'm recording this. I just don't feel like taking them out, putting them back in the bag 20 times. And I'm pretty sure this is, yeah, that's Armand, and that's Danielle Molly. That was actually one of my favorite chapters of this. Okay, there is, I can't really tell if this is like the color or the artwork on the book, but anyway. As far as spine ticks go, I don't see anything. Might be like a little bit of color breaking on the spine right here. Oh, I think this is when Akasha pulls Lestat out of the ground because he was trying to kill himself or rot away, decay. Sorry if I gave you a spoiler if you haven't read the books. As far as condition goes, there is a spine tick and with a color break right about here. Hard to see. And then it looks like a little bit of color breaking possibly along the spine, and I think that's a tear. Let me double check. That'd be sad if that is. Okay. That is not a tear. That is a plus. Moving on. I got some more Queen of the Damned here for you guys. As far as condition on it, spine tick, that breaks color. I don't see any other major issues as it is right now. And this is the twins. I can never remember their names. Mirkit and one other one. I just remember it's Egyptian. I probably was trying to pronounce it wrong. Anyway, those are the twins that cursed Akasha. It's actually, like I said, if you ever read the books, definitely read the books because this series was awesome. But honestly, after Mem knocked the devil, unless you're like really into religion, we're not going to get into that here, but I just couldn't take that book. It kind of killed it for me. So here's another one for Queen of the Damned. And this artwork on here is beautiful. There is, it looks like color breaking right about here. And then a spine tick that breaks color, unfortunately. I don't see any other issues with it. Wait a minute. Possibly one right here on Lestat's coat. Is that Lestat or is that Marius? That might be Marius. Oh yeah. So this is Akasha. So in the book, not to be too gross, but she took the tongue out of this twin, and she took the eyes from this twin. So it's a pretty gruesome book, but I loved it. Detail on this. Looks like there's a tiny little flaw right up here at the corner. And another little one right there. There is a slight spine tick right here, but it doesn't fully go in, so I'm not sure how much that would knock it down grade-wise. Alright, and then here's a little bit of older, I want to say Silver Age. I'm still learning all my terms, so forgive me, people. So I got an old 75-cent Marvel, Solomon Kane, and this is issue 4. This is issue 5. And I don't know if I have any more Solomon Kane, so whatever I pulled for the show is going to be it. And I'm probably going to try to bundle whatever I can. At least this way it saves on shipping. This is issue 6. This book, unfortunately, has seen far better days, which is pretty sad. So I might give this one away, because you can see somebody wrote on it. And I think there was maybe one page in here that was sadly detached. And they filled, like, everything out. So yeah, this is like a really low grade book. Person had to fill everything out. Oh yeah. This Todd person really had to fill it out. They filled that one out. I think there was some other stuff in this book that drove me nuts and cringe the entire time. Oh yeah, I signed there. I can't tell, is that just the way the book was? Okay. And then this book has like a lot of wear and tear. Oh yeah, because they had to be stupid and color that in. But that's how books were supposed to be back in the day. You read them and you fill out the mail-in ads. Yeah, so I might just give this away to one of my higher bidders. Whoever buys the most gets it for free. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to have to look it up. I'm sure it's just a low-grade book that's not worth anything. What a shock they didn't fill that part out. Or that. Guess they didn't want that. So yeah, there's nothing detached in here, but unfortunately because of this writing on it and throughout the book and the back, it's on the top here. It's not going to have much value. This is just a reader copy. I don't know if it's worth wasting a sleeve on, to be honest. Alright, there's that one. Here's another Solomon Kane, and this is supposedly one of those 3D books. This is number 1. And it looks like it's seen better days, so it's probably not got 3D glasses in it. Ooh, Betty Page. Okay, this one has no 3D glasses, and unfortunately it's got some damage on here, so this is probably just one of those beater copies for reading, which is a shame. Alright, getting into some more Anne Rice. I've got The Mummy. As far as condition goes, I think this is one of the few that was decent condition. No, wait. There is at least 2 spine ticks that break color, but they can press out, some of them. And then a tiny little flaw down here. But I'm also not showing the back, so that's something I would show on the live stream. And then another Anne Rice's The Mummy. I have never read these books, but one day I might sit down and read them. But I have a hard time sitting and reading much lately. So there is a spine tick, and yep, it breaks color, unfortunately. This one right here by my thumb. Here's another one of The Mummy, or Ramses the Damned. I have to give it to Innovation. They actually did a pretty good job on this entire Anne Rice series. They did it right. Now there is spine ticks as far as color breaks. Yep, color breaking on the spine. So not much can be done about that. Another one, Anne Rice's The Mummy, or Ramses the Damned. And let's see, spine ticks. Do we have any? There's like one little spine tick right here that could press out. Oh wait, is that two? Okay, maybe 1.5, but they can press out. I think this is issue 1. Not sure. Anyway, this one's actually a really nice cover. Unfortunately, though, it has spine ticks that break color all along it. So that's a pity. And then this is actually a really nice cover, too. And I'm a woman, and I don't care. I admit I like that cover. And let's see, spine ticks. I'm also looking over the camera as I talk to you guys. There is a spine tick that breaks color right here. Actually, there's like a good radius from here to here between my thumbs. Spine ticks that break color, and a little bit of color break along the spine right there, unfortunately. And I got Anne Rice's The Mummy, or Ramses the Damned. Another nice cover. And I'm sure there's color breaking along here because this lady did read her stuff. It was an older woman's collection that we bought this from 3 years ago. I just remember fitting most of it in my Monte Carlo, my 96. My husband got maybe like 30% of the rest in the Buick. It's kind of funny. They're like, there's no way you can fit all this collection in there. It's like, when you ever go to a car dealer, you just want to freak them out and see how well they handle it. You go, so, how many bodies can I stuff in the back of my trunk? And then they either laugh at you or they question if you're actually serious or joking. That's what my grandfather told me. It's the best way to figure out if they're going to be an honest guy or a loser. Try to sell you garbage. Let's see. There is a spine tick, doesn't break color. That can press, and I don't see any other ones. So, we're good. Moving on. And I know I don't have a complete collection of this. So this is Anne Rice's The Witching Hour. And I think AMC, who trashed already, in my opinion, Interview with the Vampire, they have the rights to this. Sorry if you guys liked it, if you're new to the books, but if you haven't read the books, definitely read the books. They're far better than the series. So there is color breaking right up here at the top, a little bit along the spine. Actually, I can't tell you. That's the thing I hate about some of these artworks. You can never tell if this is full color breaking on the spine. But there is some spine ticks that do break color. Otherwise, this is a really nice cover, and this is issue 1. This is actually another one I like, and thankfully I can show this on here. Forgot about that. So if you like pretty covers, I thought about keeping it just for this. This is actually a good one. This is by, oh, Millennium did this run. Anyway, there is sadly color breaking all along the spine, which is unfortunate. That's issue 2 of 13. And spine ticks. There is a spot where there's color missing. And then again, I don't know if that's a manufacturer printing thing. I'd have to compare it to other stuff. This is another one from The Witching Hour. This is issue 3. And again, most of these Anne Rice ones I'm going to be grouping up just because I want them all to go at once. There is, let's see on here, definitely color breaking on the spine. That I think is just the bags. This definitely needs a press. But there is color breaking along the spine. This is issue 4 of The Witching Hour. I think this is almost based off one of the covers of her book. I would have to double check her books. I just know like 2 days before she passed away, I picked up one of her books with an autograph on it. And I'm kind of glad I did, because I was shocked she passed away. She was still young, in my opinion, and my favorite writer. So there is color breaking along the spine. And there is a spine tick that does not break color you could press out. But unfortunately, that color breaking on the spine is going to get some people not happy. This one I think is pretty interesting. It almost kind of makes me think of her Memnoch the Devil series. Well, that book. But not a fan of that book. I mean, at least to like the last few chapters when he wakes up from hell and heaven. I'm not gonna, say anything about it on here. If you've read the book, you probably know the scene I'm talking about where he wakes up with the woman, and yeah. I'll leave it to your imagination. So there is color breaking right here with the spine tick. It actually is a little bit of a spine tick, so it needs a press. Yeah, there's a couple spine ticks. Some that don't break color, but some that do. And I think one spot with color breaking. Yeah, one little spot with color breaking on the spine. Might have to do 2 videos almost. And am I back to this? Okay, so we're doing Interview with the Vampire now. The Wolf Killer, Lestat. So this is like the main character of the book, and I can already see through the camera there is a massive spine tick that breaks color right here. So we need a press, and unfortunately those ticks with the color break are there to stay. So nothing to be done about that. That one, okay, I can show that. This is honestly one of my favorite scenes in the book, where he gets taken by his creator and turned into a vampire. So definitely read The Vampire Lestat, or pick up the graphic novel if you don't want to get the comic series. Gorgeous art, and the story is just awesome. I could talk about that story for hours. So color breaking along the spine a little bit in a few places. Unfortunately, several ticks on the spine that break color. The only good thing is at least it's not in the art, but if you wanted to get this slabbed and graded, you're definitely probably not going to get a 9. And then I think this was Nicholas. I think this was about Theodore Diaz Vampire. Oh, I might actually go through a couple of these with you. But this book, like the first one too, that's a huge one that breaks color. It's a pity. Yeah, and unfortunately that goes back here a tiny bit too. So this definitely needs a pressing and a cleaning. And then stuff like this, I can't tell usually if this is just the manufacturer when it came off the printing press, or if it's just from being read and kind of not taken care of. I better hold this up away from here. Oh, is that the scene where his creator jumps into the fire? Try and find something where I can show this on the YouTube. Oh. So I'm not going to show you some of these panels because I might get in trouble, but gives you an idea of the artwork. It's beautiful. Yeah, I didn't see somebody else crept in and liked my video. Alright, let's get this one fixed. I think my next pile I was going to do was interview. Yep. I just gotta get this all back in order. I think I might need a long box once I get everything labeled and organized. Okay. This one, yeah, better cover that. This one I can't really show too much. So if you've seen the movie Interview with the Vampire from 1994, I think you know what scene this is from. So, nothing more needs to be said. At least on that part. And without trying to get in trouble with YouTube, let me look over the camera. This book is actually in fairly good shape. There is a spine tick that breaks color, but you can press some of this out, and there is a little bit of color breaking on the spine. But this would be a nice one to get slabbed, I'm not going to lie. Okay, moving on. This is another Interview with the Vampire from Innovation. This is issue 9. And then let's see, the condition. Condition on this is actually fairly good, but like I said before, I'm not taking these out right now to show the back. I just want to try and blow through these as quickly as I can so you guys have an idea of what's in my show. And then I'll probably go through it again on a Instagram stream. I'm going to be having a tooth yanked out tomorrow for a root canal, so I'm not going to be able to talk. There's a spine tick that has a little bit of a color break. I think that's the only one I see. This one's actually in good shape. This is Theater des Vampires. And condition. Little spot right there at the top. And then there is a spine tick. Does it break color is the question. This does almost break color. Sorry, I saw something on Instagram I had to look at. This does almost break color, but I don't know if pressing it out would help. Pretty sure this is Louis. This is issue 12, Interview with the Vampire. My dogs are currently over here watching me being little creepy beast. Yes, we are being creepy beast. We want snuggles after. And yes, I like to make fun of my dogs and mimic them. So, I think this one I said was in mostly good shape. I think that might just be the artwork, but again, I am not an expert. And then, in my opinion, this is one of my favorite covers for Queen of the Damned. I'm pretty sure that's Morbius. That was her man she killed. God, I can't remember his name. Can't remember if it was Kameen, Cut, something. Somebody can correct me if they wish. There is, unfortunately, color breaking on the spine. All along the spine. And then there is a spine tick that can be pressed out. It probably could use a cleaning in my opinion, because I remember the one I had years ago was way cleaner. Yeah, I can show this. Anyway, this is Armand and Danielle Molly. So if you remember in the 94 film Interview with the Vampire, the guy that interviews Louis is actually the guy right here. He did get turned into a vampire, and Armand ended up turning him. It's kind of confusing. And I just remember reading the book and going, Armand is a little sinister idiot. He throws Daniel in this cell he's holding him in a basement. Like a McDonald's Happy Meal. I can't remember if it was a chicken nugget or a hamburger. I would have to go back and read the book. But yeah, it was pretty entertaining. So there is a couple color breaks along the spine, unfortunately. Personally, if it were me, if this were in better shape, I would actually slab it. And color breaks. There is at least 2 at break color, but they can press out to kind of hide them a little, but those color breaks you can't do anything about. I forgot how detailed some of these were. So here's another one. Daniel and Armand. I feel like Queen of the Damned had quite a few chapters on these two, and then you don't hear anything about Daniel until like Blood Cantilac, which is Marius's book. This one I don't want to keep showing on screen too much. So there is spine ticks and color breaks, unfortunately. And color breaking along the spine. So I'm going to get that one out of the way, because we know YouTube has to be Disney rated. And we got the Vampire Lestat. I'm pretty sure that's his mother on the front cover. Gabriella, or Gabrielle, one of the two. Little flaw right here, color break along the spine. And unfortunately, color ticks. This one definitely needs a pressing. So, unfortunately, there are spine ticks on there. Nothing that can be done. I can't remember who this is on here. I'm drawing a blank at the moment. I'm pretty sure that's not Akasha. Let's see. Color breaking along the spine. Thankfully, it stops about here. So, it's about from here to here, just at the staple. There is some spine ticks, and they do break color. And there's like, what the heck happened at the bottom? It looks like somebody jammed this a little bit at the bottom. So there's a dog ear shape going on. So this could definitely use a press. Excuse me, a press. Okay. Another Vampire Lestat. There is spine ticks and color breaking on here. Could use a press, so that could help lessen the spine tick imprint. Here's another one, Lestat. It's issue 7. Let's see. The spine's actually pretty good. Spine ticks that break color, unfortunately. So those need to be pressed. This one, okay, I can show this. This is another good one. I'm pretty sure this one Lestat got lost in the desert and half burnt to a crisp. And he was trying to starve himself, or this might be Marius's story. Let me double check. Anne was pretty sinister with some of her writing, and I adored her for it. Let's see, that's Lestat. I should probably hold this away from the camera for a minute. Oh, nope. Oh, now figure out the names. Is it Inkil? Oh, I think it was Inkil. Okay, so this one reveals Marius taking on Lestat after he was in the desert. So this reveals the origins of the first vampires, which is Akasha and Inkil. So that has some first appearances in it, if you want to really call them first appearances for this series. Alright, this is another one. I think this is Lestat again. He got punished by Marius. So there is some color breaking up at the top on the spine. And there is some big spine ticks in here. So those need to be pressed out, and they do unfortunately break color. I feel like they were trying to pull off some of the artwork from Ramses Damned. Honestly, this wasn't like the best artwork in my opinion for this cover. So there is a little issue right here at the top, nothing major. There is a spine tick here. It does break color, unfortunately, even though it's so small. Actually, there's two spine ticks. And I don't see any other issues. Yeah, that one's pretty much good. And then this one, I believe, is where Akasha lets him feed off her. And he gets to find out about all the good stuff. And he also gets the flight gift. So there is color breaking along the spine from about where my finger is to that staple. And then there is some more color breaking from here where my finger's at. I hate how the cameras never focus well. To about the staple. I do see spine ticks, but they do not break color. Oh wait, there is one tiny little spine tick that does break color. I lied. Okay, I didn't show these yet. So this is another vampire Lestat. I'm pretty sure that's Daniel. Okay. Unfortunately, there is a color break along the spine that does break color. And another section where there is a color break along the spine and spine ticks that do break color. And this is the vampire companion to Interview with the Vampire, which I actually never knew about. So there's actually one that introduces you to Interview with the Vampire, which I will probably include with this set. Because I think this is about Lestat. Let me just double check. And again, I don't want to show some of these on camera. Okay. So yeah, this just tells you about the books and the comics a little bit, so you get an idea of everything and the artist. So nothing special really in here. As far as the condition on it, there is spine ticks that do break color. Let's see. I don't see any issues with the spine though, so that's good. And this is what started it all. Interview with the Vampire, issue 1. And there's Louis, or Louis, however you want to go by it, if you're an old fan of the books. There is a little bit of color breaking on the spine here. And there is, oof, that is a major spine tick. It breaks color. It almost looks like it was jammed in there. So there's like 2 big ones. And then a couple little ones right here that do break the color. So you'll have to press that, see if it can get some of those lines out a little bit. Interview with the Vampire, issue 2. And there is a couple spots where it looks like the paint kind of flicked off. Well, not paint, but the printer ink kind of flicked off, or it could just be the artwork. I'm not sure. I'd have to have like another book to compare it to in better condition. I do see a spine tick that breaks color. I'm pretty sure that's a smear right there, so I don't know if that can get cleaned off because of the way that's more bluish white toned. And there is some color breaking along the spine. Jeez, I think I'm going to spend mostly an hour talking about Anne Rice. It's dangerous for me. Alright, there is a little bit of color breaking on the spine. And then there's like another big section of color breaking on the spine from right here where my finger is, all the way to here, unfortunately, and spine ticks that break color. And one right up here that needs a definite press. I think I'm almost at the end of the stack. So this one, I think, introduces Claudia. I think it'd be too soon, though, for her. And there is color breaking along the spine. And there are 3 big spine ticks that break color. And 1 small one. Is that a gash? Oh no, that's the artwork, okay. Okay, I think that was Claudia then. This one, I'm pretty sure, is the scene where Lestat got thrown into the swamp and was half burned by Claudia. Evil little creature. A tiny little flaw right up here at the top corner. There is some color breaking on the spine. Ooh, major spine tick or 2. At least 4 spine ticks that break color. And I can't tell if this is artwork or if it's missing some of the paint. Printer ink. Sorry. One day I'll remember the correct word. And then we've got issue 6. Let's see. There's like, I think that's a tear. Let's check. Okay, no, that is not a tear. It's just the way it looks like, optical illusion. There is a tiny bit of color breaking on the spine. And I don't see any spine ticks. But it could use a pressing. Yeah, it definitely needs a pressing. And where'd the cover go for it? And I think this might be the last Anne Rice one, unless they're separated in another pile somewhere in here. I have several books for this show coming up. Let's see, spine ticks. I see 1 spine tick that does break color, and some color breaking on the spine right where it's at, which is like right in here. Okay, so that's all of those out of my way. This is kind of the table. If you see me do my WhatNot shows, this is where I do all of my comic shows, and then I do all my Funko shows over at my dining room table. And hopefully soon I can have my mother's husband come over and install new lights in my kitchen, because old fixtures from 1984. That's a year older than me. Really sucks. So you can say my house is kind of vintage and slightly older than me. These I'm going to get out of the way since they're right here in front of me. So these books are all going to be in one lot together. And that means you're probably going to get one that's a duplicate. So these are Mystery Comic Digest, Ripley's Believe It or Not. Do I have two of that one? No. Which one is this? Weird, Eerie, Authentic. And then that's the back of it. I was confused when I was pulling these out. And I'm so used to reading a lot of Japanese manga that I'm thinking, oh, I read it from back here. Silly me. You read from the front. So you get used to reading stuff in Japan a lot. Condition on this is so-so, but these are really hard to get in good condition because they're age. But I'm going to have it in a bulk deal for somebody so you can at least enjoy them. This is another Ripley's Believe It or Not. This one has definitely seen better days. So these are definitely beater copies. This one is another Believe It or Not of Ripley's. This is number 19. So 1925. And does it tell me which one it is? This is September 1972. That gives you any idea. Ripley's Believe It or Not. This is number 4. And this is number 1. Another Ripley's Believe It or Not. And then these two random books. It's like something ate that. This is the 18th series and the 14th series. So all of these books right here will be in a bundled up lot as they go flying from my hand. I don't have a good grip in this one hand. When you're a dumb young child and do stupid things that you're told not to, like running in the woods, get tangled up in a laying down fence, and break your arm. Yep, you'll learn your lesson. Okay, we've done all of these books. And let's move over to here since they're in my way. So here's the Lone Ranger. I will be doing some graphic novels in this, so just FYI, it's more than just comics, people. This is actually in good shape, this book. There was a couple graphic novels that I might be giving to somebody just so they can tear up and make artwork with because they're beyond salvaging. The only issue I have with this book, there is unfortunately a tear in the obi wrap, the soft jacket, whatever you want to call it. I call it an obi because to me, after reading so much Japanese-based product, that's what it is. So other than that rip, that's in good shape. I have a Dark Shadows. This is volume 4. Originally a $50 book. And I think this has the old stuff in it. So the series was on ABC Network from 1966 to April of 1971. I don't know though when the comics came out. Otherwise, this book is in really good shape. This one was really well preserved in the collection. A couple little dings right here on the soft jacket as I casually whack it over. And some of these are not priced out yet. I haven't gotten all my pricing. It's something I'll be doing over the coming week. I have some Charm graphic novels too. I think these are in relatively good shape. Just a little dirty is all. I watched the show up to a certain point, then I lost interest in it back in the 90s. I was just kind of meh. Seemed like I'd get used to it, and then they kill off somebody I liked, or they get rid of them, replace them because they didn't get along with the cast. The good days. There's that. Here's another one. This one has like a tiny little ding. This is by Zenscope. I have a graphic classic Frankenstein. Mary Shelley. Kind of gives you a little idea of all the characters. So this one's in pretty good shape. Used to sell for $16. I actually used to have a copy of this, and I made the mistake of giving away all my Buffy books to somebody that probably never should have given them to, or my Xena books. So this is Buffy, the Origin. This is actually a good one. I used to read all the old young adult novels too. Let's see, how bad is that bottom? So I think this was originally in a discount bin. I've got Ghost Rider, Heaven's on Fire, Jason Aaron, and Roland Bosch, or Bosch. I probably pronounced his name wrong. Forgive me. Anyway, there's a little gunky thing right here. And then it was marked right up here, so that's why I'm kind of guessing this was a discount bin area. Here's another Charm book. And I'm not sure yet what I'm doing with some of these, depending on their prices, what they're going for, because I use eBay to base all my prices off of. So I'll figure that out once I get to it, because I might just bundle them. And then, of course, Nevermore. Some Edgar Allan Poe. Is this that one about the hurt? Nope. Anyway, I'll have that in there too. And then there's going to be some Hellboy. Now a major motion picture. Seed of Destruction. This one's in good shape other than this issue right here, and you can kind of tell it goes along right here, a dog ear. And I'm not sure what happened up here. Another Frankenstein. This is a soft cover one. And somebody wrote $5 on it. This is all black and white. There is a big color break though right here. I do like the fact though they kind of went with this old style painting artwork. And then there is color breaking right here and a dog ear going on. Here is another Solomon Kane. This is an old Dark Horse book. Where did this come out? Yeah, it's not that old, 2010. So, Solomon Kane, Death's Black Riders. I don't read this series, so I can't really help you out and explain much about it. There is a bit of a little flaw right up here on the book. Now the pages are pulling away from the spine, so that's one good thing. It's about the only issue I see. And this is an old one that I haven't tried to get the sticker off. I don't have any fingernails. I chew my fingernails. I know I shouldn't, shame on me, but when you're dealing with fabric that's really thin and sheer, you don't want long claws. You just use your teeth to, you know, hurt people. It works too. But if you're not up to date on your own rabies shot, and I'm joking about this, people, don't take it seriously. You might want to make sure you're up to date on your rabies so they don't have to put you down after. Condition on this, I want to say, is pretty decent for the age. There's a little issue right here at the corner. I don't see anything coming unglued from the spine. What the heck is that? Take 5 on us. Oh, I better hide that. That's got information on it. So yeah, this has some old artwork in here. So we got Swamp Thing. And then I do have some other graphic novels I will get to. I want to go through this massive stack of Doom. I swear, I move an inch and you guys look at me like, what are you doing? Alright, moving on. We're going back to some Dark Shadows. So this is issue 23. Oh, I guess I should tell you guys the condition of it. Condition, there is a couple spine ticks up at the top that break color. Nothing major like some of those Anne Race ones. And a little bit of color breaking on the spine. I have some Lone Ranger. I think this was the only one I found in the book collection. This is the Lone Ranger and Tonto break up 1 of 4. And there is a massive spine tick that breaks color right there. And this is by Topps Comics. And then a small spine tick right there. And then getting back to some old stuff. This is a DC I Vampire starring in the House of Mystery. And that was like a 60-cent comic. I'm sure it's not worth a lot. There is a spine tick. Spine tick, spine tick, spine tick. It's like a little row of them. Or like gathered at the top. One right here that slightly breaks color. And I can't tell if that's a tear or not. Nope, that's just another color break. And then a little smudge right here from the printing press. And then here's some really ancient stuff. I'm not going to take these out. This is the Occult Files of Dr. Spector. And like I'm going to try to show these as best as I can on the camera. These are pretty low-grade comics. So beaters. And again, I haven't looked up prices on these, so I'll be doing that eventually. And a lot of these are going to get grouped into groups of 5. That's usually how I do it to save on shipping. Or I can do larger bundles. I just got to figure out shipping as I'm on stream. And this one has, unfortunately, several spine ticks. And I think this is one that I actually liked for the artwork. So I'm pretty sure this is back when they used to do painted covers. So it's actually a pretty nice cover. But it's unfortunate it has so much damage on it. The Occult Files of Dr. Spector. It's here. It's alive. From the misty age of sorcery, the brain of Exorn. And as you can see, this has quite a bit of spine ticks and color breaks. Apparently I have 2 of these. This one's actually in better condition than this one. So this one has a lot more damage. This one I kind of laughed at because I sold a lot of the graphic novels year ago. This is a Golden Key book, 15 cents. Boris Karloff, Tales of Mystery. The Mind and the Monster, a creature as terrifyingly real as the hatred that spawned it. Again, I'm kind of with a lot of the older, comic nerds on this. I love this old style artwork. And usually if I'm buying comics for my personal collection, sometimes I like it just for the artwork. I might not like the story, but I like the artwork. And I've kind of been in a couple of my friends' shows on WhatNot. Dennis from Wonderworld Comics. I'll actually leave a description to his store and all that on there. But anyway, I've bought stuff during his WhatNot live shows, and people are like, oh, well, she shouldn't be bidding on this since she's your mod. It's like, I'm paying for it. It's not like I'm getting it for free. I like it because I like the artwork. That's why I want it. You don't like that? Boo-hoo. This one, not a big fan of it. Beauty and the Beast. Just gotta decide which man she wants more. The extra hairy one or the zombie looking one. The long dead horror seeks revenge. The return of Raquette. He almost looks like Zorro. They're all over here like, oh no, it's a mummy. Dr. Spector's most shocking adventure. Werewolf. Pretty sure they were trying to rip off some of Marvel's stuff. No, I guess I should be showing you guys the condition of these books too. Several spine ticks on this. Again, nothing I can really do about that. I mean, look at the price of these books from back in the day. You're not going to find too many minty books. I mean, you're lucky probably if some of these are a low 1, if that. Although this one kind of reminds me of an old Scooby-Doo episode, this cover. Dr. Spector, infamous fiend, stalks the London fog. Dr. Spector and Mr. Hyde. And unfortunately, some schmuck circled and wrote something on here. But I'm not going to pull this out until I do a live show. Because these ones are actually hard to get in and out of here. The grave opens. A condemned soul returns to the Lee cult of the vampire. It's that old school evil mustache vampire. This one's actually in decent shape. However, like I said, you got spine ticks that break color, a little wear up on the top corner. No, that's just the artwork, but yeah, a lot of spine ticks that break color. So I don't know how much a cleaning and a press would help it out. And there's a big one right here, so I'm pretty sure somebody turned this over. Oh yeah, and a lot of color breaking right here. And moving on. Frankenstein's monster, Mr. Hyde, the vampire, and the mummy all return from the dead to destroy Dr. Spector. This one's actually not in too bad a shape, but I bet you it's probably one of those that don't go for much. It's 25 cents back in the day. Wait a minute. Did they redo that cover? Now I'm morbidly curious. Nope. So there's two different variants to this cover. More of a cartoony style. And then there's this one, the original. So I'm going to have to look those up for sure. And Dr. Spector. 2 savage werebeasts battle to the death, and one is Adam Spector. Dun dun dun! And again, like I said, with some of these older ones, the age and such is not going to be the best on them. Let's see what else we got on the prices right over here, because I've still got stuff. I'm probably going to do a show showing off what I have of the Red Sonja and Conan. I still have a ton of Conan. I hate having these books everywhere. I need my table back. Alright, let's get these in order. And I have the Mighty Samsung? The Mighty Samsung? I'm pretty horribly saying that wrong. This is issue 1, 48 page by Dark Horse. There is a spine tick right here. It breaks color. I think that's the only one. And then a little bit of color breaking, I think. Yeah, color breaking right about here. Slight bit. Solomon Kane. This is issue 2. And there is a spine tick that has a spot that does break color. I got the Tomb of Dracula. Issue 3. I think I have the full series. It's just all bunched up and separated when I was trying to bag everything. There is a spine tick right here that breaks color. And another spine tick that does break color, I believe. Yeah, it does break color. And then I do see some color breaking on the spine. Here's the other Tomb of Dracula. This is issue 4. Condition-wise, there's color breaking on the spine. A spine tick that breaks color. So there's a couple spine ticks, and then there's 2 that could be pressed out. This is The Death of Dracula by Marvel. 2nd printing. Condition-wise, there's a spine tick. There's 3 spine ticks that break color, and 1 I think that can press out, but there might be a 4th that does break color. I got The Tomb of Dracula. This is actually a 4 graphic novel book series. I just put them in bags so they were better taken care of. So we got, let's see, this is book 1. Oh, have them in order. What a shock. This is book 2. That's book 3. And this is book 4. So these will be sold together in a lot. Okay, it's Morbin time. Move this back so I can have more room. Morbius, the Living Vampire versus Spider-Man. This is issue 3. This is from 1992. Oh, I guess I should go over that, shouldn't I? I don't know how many people are actually going to watch this and listen to me. So there is color breaking at the top of the spine. There is some color breaking along the spine right here again. And I do see a spine tick that slightly breaks color. But it could use a press and a clean. This is another Morbius and Spider-Man comic. What was that one? Issue 3, so this is issue 4. Condition-wise, let's see. There is color breaking on the spine and spine ticks that do break color. This is a 3D one, it says. So supposedly this book is 3D, but I do not think the color glasses are in here. Jean Claude. Okay, I don't see how this is 3D. I don't see anything to indicate it should be. That says 3D. But there's no 3D glasses in here. I am mystified. Alright, and then this is another Spider. You're going to get Spider-Man in Symbiote, and I think that's the Goblin, ain't it? I think that's the Goblin transformed. As far as condition goes on this, let's see. There is a spine tick that breaks color right here. I'm trying to not bend this more. There is another spine tick that breaks color. Big one right here that definitely breaks color, unfortunately. That you can't really hide. And color breaking on the spine. Oh, hello to anybody tuning in. It just says I jumped up to 3 views. Just going over what's going to be in my show next week. I was supposed to run it tomorrow, but I'm having my tooth pulled out. So I won't be doing much talking for at least 2 or 3 days. This is another Morbius, the Living Vampire, Midnight Suns. In condition, it's going to need some cleaning down here on the bottom. It's the only good thing about sometimes with these white parts, you can hide the spine ticks that break color. Unfortunately, there are spine ticks over here. It's definitely going to need a cleaning. And then there's a couple more spine ticks up here that do break color. You can't hide those ones. Color breaking along the spine. Otherwise, it's in decent shape. And let's see. Another Morbius, Ashes to Ashes. Got a little bondage theme going on there. This is definitely going to need a cleaning on some of the white areas. There is a spine tick that does break color. There is a little bit of color breaking on the spine. This is first issue of a Dark Era, Morbius. It's kind of a shame that the movie didn't get well received, in my opinion. I thought it was good. I don't know why some people were all, meh, didn't like it, wah. Honestly, I like Matt Smith, I think, the most, because I was a fan of his with Doctor Who. Anyway, color breaking up here. There's a spine tick. Another spine tick or two right over here. And there is a tiny bit of color breaking on the spine. Some more Morbius. Introducing the Belsk. Bleh. Okay, I'm not going to try to pronounce any more things tonight. Can I show that on here? Okay. Morbius' greatest nemesis. Got some color breaking along the spine. Actually, quite a bit of color breaking on the spine, unfortunately. And a couple spine ticks. Some that break color, some that don't. They just need a press. This one I almost thought about hanging on to just to tease you, Dennis, if you're watching at all. Xandu, Madam Xandu. Because I think that was the first movie he said when his warehouse is all fully restored and everything. He wants to play Xandu at the warehouse over in Monroe. So this has some color breaking along the spine. Actually, sorry, not color breaking on the spine, but spine ticks that do roll onto the spine. And another little spine tick right here. This one's actually in decent shape, so I'm gonna have to look it up. I think it was only $5. Still, it's kind of funny to see some of these old covers. Got some more Morbius, Midnight Suns. Let's see, condition on this. There is a spine tick up here that breaks color. There's a couple little spine ticks, some that don't break color and some that do. Otherwise, it's not too bad condition. Let's see. Curse of the She-Cat. This is issue 1. Condition-wise, there's a big spine tick right here that breaks color. Another spine tick right here, that's a big one. Another one that kind of breaks color, a tiny dot. And then a tiny little bit of color breaking on the spine up here. Also, this book could use a press. I think I can show this one. Here's another old DC comic. Doorway to Nightmare, the House of Secrets. Have you the nerve to face the unexpected? Ha ha ha. The curse is working. She'll never upstage me again. And condition. Kind of looks like this could use a press up at the top. It's always hard to show certain things on cameras. Does not break color from what I can see. There is a printing issue right here where the ink kind of rubbed onto the white. So, trying to show this to the best of my ability on here, because I know it's going to suck when I do it on WhatNot. This definitely needs a press. There is some spine ticks. There is one spine tick that goes into the black side and breaks color. And another one right here that does go in and break color. And this is one of those older, thicker books. Here's an old Solomon Kane. It has a stamp on it, unfortunately, of April 10th, 1988. Or is that 86? Oh, that's 86. So I'm not sure why that was stamped. Condition-wise, unfortunately, because of that stamp, that kind of screwed it up. I'm pretty sure that's an ink issue right here. So, I'm not entirely certain what that stain is. There is a spine tick that breaks color on the wing. And then another one right here that's kind of a big one. We've got Lord of the Jungle, Dynamite Annual #1. Nice loincloths. I like how some of these more mannish, drill-worthy covers for us women are not as destroyed as the female, hot-looking covers. So there is a spine tick that breaks color, another 2 spine ticks that do break color. Looks like another one right there. I don't see any major color breaking on the spine, so that's good. And then we're going to get back to some more innovation books. I have Dark Shadows, issue 2. I feel like I had 2 issues of this. I'm sure I'll find it again as I'm going through the pile. Condition-wise, let's see. Definitely a lot of color breaking on the spine. And then there are some spine ticks that break color. I do believe this could use a pressing to help with some of those, but unfortunately those spine ticks are there to stay. And this is issue 1 of Dark Shadows by Innovation. And all the spine ticks seem to be like right up here at the top. And then there's a tiny little one. I don't know if a press would help with it, but I doubt it's going to help too much to hide that. Alright, and next one, I feel like there's another issue to this. That's what I hate when I have to try and put everything in bags and boards. They get mixed up. Next one is Percival. Oh yeah, there is another one to this. I think I pulled it because it sounded kind of horror-esque. There is definitely signs of a dog ear issue going on here with a spine tick that breaks color. I don't know how much of a press will help out. There's definitely a press needed on this. There is a spine tick. I don't think it breaks color, but there are spine ticks right here. And at least one really stands out that breaks color right there. And then there's 3 right here. 4 technically, all in a row. I got some more Morbin time. Rise of the Midnight Suns. Condition-wise, there is a bit of color breaking on the spine. And I see maybe 1 spine tick, but it doesn't look like it breaks color. Another Morbius. Again, there's a little bit of color breaking along the spine here. There is a spine tick I see that does break color. I lied. There's at least 3 that break color. Jeez, I didn't realize I pulled this much Morbius out. Originally it was just going to be dark shadows for the show, and I figured, you know what the heck, vampire theme, might as well go with all of it. This is another Morbius. Back when comics were $1.75. There is color breaking on the spine. There's 1 spine tick that does break color. Sorry if my thing's shaking. I'm trying to not knock my camera down and also whack myself at the same time in the face. Another Morbius. I do see some color breaking on the spine. Let's see. There is a spine tick or 2. One that you might be able to hide with a press, but one you won't be able to hide that does break color. And then I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be a hard one to get a good grade on. Midnight Massacre, Morbius, issue 12. This would actually be a nice one to get signed with a gold Sharpie. There is no color breaking on the spine. I actually don't see any spine ticks on the front. Thankfully my hands are clean, so I don't feel too bad taking this one out. I'm seeing the flaws now. I took it out of the bag. So up here there is a tiny little flaw. I don't know how much a press is going to help with that. Because I don't know if you have to do a cold press on these. I know certain books you got to be careful with. Because I think, what is it, Spider-Man 2099 is one of them. Has to be cold pressed. This one, it does definitely need a press. At least at the top. So it could come back maybe. Oh yeah, and there's some ticks back here. That's actually pretty cool how this book is done. It's got Night Stalkers 10, Ghost Rider 10, Part 2, Darkhold, Part 3, Morbius, Part 4, Spirits of Vengeance, Part 5. So yeah, this definitely needs press. It could come back maybe a 9.2, a 9.0. So yeah, this one's actually in decent shape. God, I hope this is the end of the Morbius pile. Alright, we got another Spider-Man and Morbius. Dance of the Hunter. What is it? And captured at last. Mwahaha. There is some color breaking on the spine. There are spine ticks that break color. Definitely a lot of color breaking on spine. Okay, it looks like there was 2 of this one, I believe. One of 4. Yep, there was 2 issues of this. Okay, so there's going to be 2 issues of this. One, honestly, they're almost just as in bad shape. This one might be slightly better. This one, they both honestly have a lot of spine ticks on them. This is issue 1 of 4. Oh yeah, I can tell these were definitely read several times. Both have several spine ticks that break color and color breaking on the spine. So, there's those. This is 3 of 4. So here's part 3 of this series. Condition-wise, spine ticks that break color and color breaking on the spine. This is part 2. Can I show that? Too much cleavage. So this is part 2. Yep, 2 of 4. And let's see. There's definitely spine ticks that break color and some color breaking on spine. Getting that one off the camera because too much cleavage might be a big, oh no, it's an evil sin. And we have some Fright Night. This is issue 1. There is a couple spine ticks that break color. Definitely could use a press. And a little bit of color breaking on the spine. I've got issue 1 of Solomon Kane by Dark Horse. Part 1 of 4, Death's Black Riders. Condition-wise, is that the artwork, or is that just wear and tear? I'm thinking this is the artwork. I'm not sure, so don't hold me to that, please. I'd actually have to compare it to the actual cover art. So there is a spine tick that does break color right here, and then another one. This is dirty right here, so that could use some cleaning. And then I do see a little bit of color breaking on the spine itself. So that stack is done. And I'm going to move slightly over. And then I'm going to give you guys a brief show of my dog who's got the side eye going on, looking at me like, what are you doing? Why is that evil ring light upon me? And then my other one, that's my midnight snack over there. She's curled up in the corner hiding. I call her a possum sometimes because she surely acts like a possum. Sometimes I wonder if the dog is half bred with a possum. Alright, and what else do I have? This is all Solomon and other stuff. Okay, so continuing on now that I've bored you with my dogs. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust the camera and my seat. Got Solomon Kane. It's issue 2. There is some color breaking on, does break, spine ticks that break color. It's getting late and I still got to package up some orders and try to sleep before I go get my tooth ripped out. So there's a little bit of flaws on that. Might actually have to hurry up and go through these. It's almost an hour and 30 minutes that passed since I started. Got another Solomon Kane. If you guys want to know the condition of these, feel free to ask me. It's kind of getting late and I got other stuff I have to do. I have to get some WhatNot orders packaged. So this is Solomon Kane, issue 4. Now my camera stick is in the way. There we go. Solomon Kane, number 1. Is this a one-shot? That I'm not sure of. Solomon Kane, issue 2. I'm wondering if they're variant covers. Issue 3, I see there's a big issue right here. Some color fading on there. So that book probably wasn't well kept. Solomon Kane, issue 5. Solomon Kane, issue 4. Another issue 1. I'm going to have to research some of these series so I actually know what's supposed to be grouped together. This is Dark Shadow, year 1. I've got Dark Shadows, year 1 again. This is issue 2. The other one was issue 1. Here's issue 3. This is issue 4 of year 1. This is issue 5 for year 1. This one's actually a nice little homage to the old stuff. This is year 6. I think that's all I have of the year 1 series. Could be mistaken, because there's, like I said, a whole table here of comics. Another Solomon Kane, Red Shadows, part 3 of 4. Part 4 of 4 of the Red Shadows, Solomon Kane. This comic, I think I was saying to myself, it's not in the best shape, and somebody wrote 10 cents on it. Apparently Marvel at one point in time was desperate for money and did Barbie comics. Yeah. We won't talk about that. Actually, my husband laughed. I just kind of shook my head. Guess that was how you wanted to get girls back in the day to read comics. I mean, it makes sense. Got Dark Shadows, issue 22. Dark Shadows, I believe that's issue 1. Yeah. This is Dark Shadows, issue 3. Here's issue 4. This is issue 5. Got issue 6. Here's issue 7. This one almost looks like Michael Myers and a old cracked porcelain doll face. So that's issue 8. Here's issue 9. Issue 10. And again, a lot of these are going to be grouped in bundles of 5 at least. Because when I do my shows, I want to try and move as much product as I possibly can and try to keep the prices low. Because getting hit with those fees for each individual transaction for $4 is not even worth my time. Here's issue 11. Here's issue 12. Okay, I can show that. That's issue 13. I think he's more interested in something else besides her neck. Here is issue 14. Here's 15. And we got 16. A 17. That one's just completely creepy. It's like, I'm going to stare at you and eat you. Mwahaha. Oh, you don't like that I'm staring at you? Okay, I'm going to look at you even harder. Mwahaha. Oh yeah, that's issue 18. Sorry. And we have issue 19. And I have an issue 20. Then we have issue 21. And here's one 2-part series that I had. If I can get them to come to me. The classic story of love and death. Helicus and Melisande, or no idea. Classic story of love and death. By Eclipse Comics. I like the artwork, honestly, on this, but I have no reason to keep it. And then here's another copy of that Innovation Dark Shadows. Here's like a really old gold key Dark Shadows for 15 cents. Sadly, it's a bit of a beater copy. And then I have the complete series of this Topps Comics, and I have all the trading cards. Unfortunately, the bags that they were originally in, I had to throw out because they were just purely disgusting, and some of the bags had mold on them, which made me sneeze and hack my guts out, so these have had enough time to air dry and not stink anymore. So, you'll get this, volume 2 and 3. And I will show the cards on live stream when I'm doing WhatNot. Oh, sorry, 1 of 4. I lied. There's actually a couple more of these top comics where there's different cover work. A true story. Oh, I see. So one's based off the actual book, and then these are based off the films. So, there's all those in there. I actually remember watching the first Dracula movie when I was a kid, and I loved it. This is actually one of my favorite scenes with Van Helsing. And then this, I don't know how many people actually follow me on my Instagram, but I was kind of cackling when I found these. Dark Shadows and Vampirilla. Now, I don't read either of these series. I'm not a big fan, but I have all 6, I believe. Or all 5, one of the two. So I have issue 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So I'm not sure if it's a 5 or more series, but that will only be sold as a lot. And let me get my other books. Okay, so some of these I won't be able to really bag and board well because I don't have any more large boards for them. The Man of Bronze Duck Savage. I got another Doc Savage. These are magazine style comics, so these are all probably going to be sold as a lot. Just because it's hard to mail these types of comics. Vampire Tales. This one I don't have a bag it'll fit in. The Sisterhood of Steel. And that's a graphic novel. I've got The Hex Breaker. I've got Castle Frankenstein. And I might sell that Sensational She-Hulk. This is a graphic novel, like a really early one. Come here. This is also going to be in the show. It is a 9/8 slab, Vampirella V5, number 25. It is signed by Jay Lee. It's a 9/8. It's a BAM exclusive. And that one will probably be in the Buy It Now section. My Conan. This one because I want the camera. I have A Lady Death, Mischievous Night. This was 2021 San Diego Comic Con exclusive. It is issue 37 out of 77. It is the hollow metallic, well, glaze or gaze hollow. That one will also be in the Buy It Now, and it's signed by Brian. 9/8. Or if somebody has a 9/9 or a 9/8 at least of Lady Death pony cover, I'd be willing to trade. Alright, let me get this back over here. Trying to get all my stuff back in order. Okay, get all my slabs back. Alright, this just makes me want to vomit seeing this. Twilight, not real vampires. I'm sorry. They are not real vampires. Volume 2, and I know if you have the first edition with whatever the stupid female's name is, Bella, that's supposed to make a picture with the two of them. Anyway, here's the word. Book's in good shape. There is a little mark there on the bottom. So this will also be in there. I just have nothing good to say about this series. I'd rather gouge my eyeballs out than read it or watch it. Another Dark Shadows. This is a graphic novel. I think I'm just getting into the graphic novels finally. I have a Solomon Kane graphic novel. I have Dorian Gray. I have the Tomb of Dracula. It's volume 1. Then there is a little mark on it. Got Vlad the Impaler. I got a Solomon Kane. This is a big fat paper trade paperback book. This, I'm not sure how much I'm going to be selling it for. If I can't get any interest on WhatNot, it's going to go on eBay. This has all the old comics. I've got a Dracula hardcover. I have another Dark Shadows hardcover. These are all going to fall off. I better move some. Did I have any other books right here? Okay, yeah, I did. Those are my books. Gonna move the camera over here now. That's all my extra stuff. And then these are really fat horror comic novels, trade paperbacks. So I've got that one. I have a volume 1, The Tomb of Dracula. It's a trade paperback. I have a volume 2, Tomb of Dracula, another trade paperback. And it's all in black and white. And then I don't know why, again, one's in better shape than the other. This one's had some shelf wear. This one's in better shape. So I have 2 volume 3s, Tomb of Dracula. And then I have volume 4, Tomb of Dracula. My Queen of the Damned is taking a little landslide on me. Okay, and I have to stack these in a box. If I don't feel like they're Walking Dead tomorrow. And then I have 2 issues of this Frankenstein, volume 1. I think I might have had a few more comics. Oh, yep. I had more right here. Yes. I need a bigger table. Yeah, I have a lot. Okay, promise I'm almost done. Hopefully in 2 hours this will be a full show. I have Darkness, Eva, Daughter of Dracula, trade paperback. I've got Dracula, issue 1. Got another Dracula, issue 2. And this is probably that graphic novel I showed. There's issue 3. I actually like that cover artwork. And issue 4. Death Dreams of Dracula. This just seems really random. I got Blood of Dracula, Blood of Dracula, The Blood of Dracula, Caveman Dracula / Wolfman, question mark, Blood of Dracula, Blood of Dracula. This one's actually a nice cover. Blood of Dracula. The Blood of Dracula. And you guessed it, Blood of Dracula. And Blood of Dracula. What a creepy child. Did I have more? Oh, hallelujah. And the last one that's going to be in the show, Zombie Tramp. I think this is the Wonder World exclusive. Yep. Exclusive to Wonder World Comics. And I know there's a naughty version too he has. I just have 2 of them, so I don't need 2. Great, so pardon the mess because I had to go through all these. This will be next Tuesday on the WhatNot app. I think I have it scheduled for 6:30. Anyway, hope you guys will tune in. If you want me to build you a bundle or something before the show, feel free to contact me on Instagram and tell me you saw the video on YouTube, and I can help you out. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next Tuesday on WhatNot. Bye for now.